Hi everyone, Eric here. I had some time and I thought that I would share with everybody my beautiful cat, Mila. No, for real. I wanted to make a video and well, my eyes are shining today. No, Leela, don't leave me. Love me. Love me. You will love me. She's going to love me, I promise you. It just takes time. It just takes time. Ow, that was my neck, you brat. She loves me. It's normal for people in relationships to fight. My cat and I are very close. All right, seriously. I want to talk to you guys today about warning signs that you've upset an INFJ. Now, there are many similarities between things you'll see in an introvert in general and things you'll see in an INFJ, but don't confuse the two. The symptoms with an INFJ are progressive, where with an introvert, it's usually instantaneous. And with some of these, it's the exact opposite. And I'll specify which ones, but if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to keep updated. I'm constantly releasing new videos, whether it be about music or psychology. More often than not, because both of my computers are broke right now, I'm not releasing gaming videos. I'm not releasing streams. Most of it is just self-help tips and psychology, and here's how you can improve, and here's some wisdom. But if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe. It really helps me out. Helps to promote my channel. And if you like what you hear today and it's benefited you, and you have questions and you want more videos, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts with me. Feel free to make video requests. I do take them. And I love hearing your guys' thoughts. So yeah, for those of you who continue to come back and watch my channels, thank you. Make sure to drop a like if this video has helped you. So starting off, INFJs are a very peculiar people. We are like a ball of emotion that is bundled into the humanoid figure of a person. And then you slap eyes on that, and it's like those emotions are pouring out of our eyes, and we are able to emotionally connect with people in a way that allows us to read. Leela? My cat meowed at me. Allows us to read people in that way. Our emotions are a direct connection to our expression of ourselves, a direct connection to our relationships with other people, how we feel, how we think, how we approach and interact with the world. But that's only physically. Inwardly, in our thoughts, our emotions are like a second plane that we live on. It's like inside of our head, these emotions give birth to thoughts, and those thoughts give birth to new ideas and concepts that allow us to impact the world around us. And it's what motivates us to say, hey, I want to try this next time I'm talking to someone, or hey, how about I use this joke to achieve X result? So before I really go too in depth in this, I want to just real quick illustrate this to you in a way that should be feasible and easy to understand. When an INFJ meets somebody, they don't consider them an acquaintance, they don't consider them a friend, they consider them a face. They know that face. They know the person's name, but the name has no emotional value, and therefore it means nothing to the INFJ. The name means something only if it is emotionally important to the INFJ. So when we see a face, we begin reading that person's body language before we ever even speak a word to them. Seeing them at the mall now we can choose to not spend our energy doing this and look at them and be like, whatever, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm not interested in meeting anyone, talking to anyone. But when we choose to, we're looking at you through this for better lack of terms, energy filter that allows us to feel our way through our intuition. And we kind of get a sense based off of what our gut instinct is telling us. And that in turn impacts our emotions and how we feel about you. In other words, first impressions are not necessary. With an INFJ, we're not worried about first impressions. We're worried about when I dissect what I see, what will I find underneath? Because if what I find underneath is ingenuinity, I think that's how you say that. Ingenuinity. Ingenuineness. That's not a word. You know what I mean. Ingenuinity, or if what we find underneath is a calloused heart, we're not going to ever consider you a friend. Friend for an INFJ has an emotional meaning to it. Family has an emotional meaning. Sister has an emotional meaning. It's much easier for an INFJ to call one of their best female friends a sister than it is for us to call someone in our own family that we don't have a strong connection with a sister. There's just something about the emotional connection we share with people that makes us feel connected to them. In not metaphorically, like emotionally, they are a part of our heart. Like, doesn't matter if they're not in this room. I think about them, I feel for them, and I recall why I'm feeling is because of because they were there for me whenever I was crying and breaking down. So therefore, they've become close to me. Close is an emotion. Closeness, but it's also a literal vocabulary word. This is an INFJ in a nutshell. We are balls of emotion that express ourselves through our FE in a physical sense, but we crave that someone will be able to see past the surface and say, wow, that person really put a lot of effort into this. I can see the emotional value in what he did. That's why ENFPs are such ideal matches for an INFJ, because they see that. And it's rare. But, and I'm not saying everyone does. Obviously, it comes and it goes, but more often than not, from my experience, it's snap of the finger. She says, wow, there's someone I work with at work. Her name's Liesel. She says, wow, you're really smart. Wow, you're so thoughtful. And I'm thinking to myself, all I did was offer you a candy bar, and you're looking at my action as if it had emotional impact on you. That mattered to me. So what I'm really doing right now is laying the foundation. And it's to help you understand why an INFJ feels these things, why they think these things. It's innate. It's not something we think about, we just do. You know, you don't think about going to the bathroom whenever you wake up in the morning, you just do. You don't think about eating breakfast, you just do. You don't think about just lost my train of thought. You don't, apparently I don't think. Apparently I don't think. Alright, so you get my point, because I did not. I lost my train of thought. But that's okay, I'll get back on track. INFJs feel just about everything that we do, everything that we think has emotional emphasis. And someone might be like, well, you can't possibly be feeling all the time. I mean, there are even times whenever women just aren't thinking and aren't feeling, they're just going through the motions. No, INFJs feel all the time. It doesn't ever shut off. And it's very exhausting, and it's why one of the many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons we can't be around people all the time. We can't do it. It's exhausting. All right, you try mothering 20 people at a time. Don't say that you're not going to do it. Think about this. Imagine you are single-handedly watching 20 kids that are not yours, are not your own kids. They are all 4 years old. They are screaming, playing, and running all over the place, laughing and having a good time. What the heck do? You give it 1 hour. How are you feeling? Just take these kids away. I just take them away. That's how an INFJ feels, okay? Metaphorically speaking, all those kids that are running around are all you other people on the face of the human earth that were around on the job, that were around in customer service, that were around when we go to the store. We don't want to go to the store. Let me go to the store at 11 p.m. when no one's there, please. Like, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm begging you, literally begging humanity. Us INFJs cannot do it. We don't have the emotional energy or the mental energy. We're human beings, and we crash and burn very quickly in social circumstances. I go to work every day. I have earplugs in because I don't want to hear people's voices. I just can't do it. I can't. And I work at a warehouse. I can't deal with it. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I want you to realize that INFJs are not cruel people. We are exhausted people. And it seems like a bad time all the time. And I know it does. Anyone who knows me and speaks to me personally, it's a bad time all the time. If I call you, it's a bad time. If you call me, it's a bad time. It's been 10 hours of my day off and I'm getting ready for bed and you contact me, it's a bad time because it's my day off to recharge to go back to work. All right, it sucks. This is like the short end of the stick of being an INFJ. It sucks. And you know what? There is no remedy because we live in a world where, one, you have to work, and working means being around other people unless you have a college degree and are self-employed or work from home. Sorry about that. My mother came in the front door and started talking to me. I had to pause the video. Perfect example. All right, perfect example. I was deep in thought. I was focused. And introverts use long-term memory. That means it takes us longer to think. It takes longer for our neurons to reach one end of the brain to the other and come to a conclusion before we speak. Extroverts, short term. Boom. They have quick responses for everything. They seem very charismatic. Introverts think deep. We have a bigger amount of gray matter in our prefrontal cortex. That means we think deeper on issues. It takes us longer to come to a conclusion. And those conclusions, statistically and factually, I'm not messing with anyone here, they are factually and statistically proven to be more in depth. Introverts feel emotionally for inanimate objects. Extroverts do not. All right. Unless you are a incredibly empathetic feeler, that is an extrovert, you don't feel like an introvert does because we have more gray matter. It's just that simple. It's fact. It's literally been proven. X-rays and all. Anyways, this is a perfect example. My mother came in and I had to get my thoughts back on track. All right, when you're having a conversation with 3 kids pulling on your legs, mommy, mommy, and screaming, mommy, and you say, hold on a moment. Now, what was I saying? And you have to get your thoughts back on track. It's pretty easy whenever the conversation's very simple. But whenever it's something incredibly complex like this, it is very exhausting to get your thoughts back on track. Now I'm going to all of that was to lead up to this. How to know you've ticked off an INFJ. Number 1. They shut up and don't talk to you. This is a key sign. Back off. You have angered the INFJ, not agitated them. You've made them so furious they don't want to talk anymore. And if they tried to talk, they're just going to cuss you out, scream at you, call you names, tell you you're an effing idiot, and shut the F up and leave them alone. That's what's going to come out of their mouth if they let it. So we say nothing, hoping to God somebody else can read between the lines. Oh, he didn't answer my question. I asked you 3 times. Why aren't you talking? Because you're freaking annoying me. Go away. And I've done this on the job many times. People keep bothering me. They say, why don't you talk? Why are you just ignoring me? I said, because, quite frankly, you're annoying me. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. And I'll yell at them and they'll walk away. And no, I've never gotten fired for it. And I'm not going to. But the point, and honestly, they should be working. I'm doing my job. But the point is this. When an INFJ goes silent, you have just ticked off a redhead. Leave them alone. Let the storm boil itself down. All right. If you've ever seen the show Madoka, where her hair gets all fiery red, it's an anime, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. You don't want to do this to an INFJ because, number 1, it makes us realize we can't trust you unless you show us you understand that what we need and give us what we need. Excuse me. That leads me to number 2. The second thing the second way to know you've ticked off an INFJ. When we no longer open up to you. Oh, is this big? This is probably one of the most profound, oh no, I screwed up moments. When an INFJ stops opening up to you, you really did something to push them so far away where they said, I cannot trust them with my vulnerabilities anymore. This is big because it means you're getting door slammed. It's already happening. you've already screwed up hard. When the INFJ stops talking to you, it is different than talking less and less and less until the relationship slims, and then the cord snaps itself, stretching out a rubber band further and further and further and further until it corrodes and destroys itself. The INFJ will let the relationship die because they're just done. They're done, they're just freaking done. And I am using such intense language because I want you to understand what the INFJ is feeling. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. We are feeling. That is why we are intense. That is why we are passionate about what we talk about. That is why we are dreamers and idealists. That is why we are intense lovers. That is why in a relationship we give our all. We can't help it. We have to be true to ourselves. It is why we are authentic. It is why when you see us, you see our emotions. It is why we can see other people's emotions so well. It is why out of all the 16 personality types, we are the only one that can read emotions to a T and dissect your psyche in the snap of a finger, because we are feeling all the time. No other personality type on earth is. Psychologically speaking, traits of human behavior, no other human on earth is going to feel like an INFJ. Period. I don't care if you're an empath. I don't care if you're a Heyoka empath. Alright, the strongest of all the types. Thinking and feeling all the time. I don't care if you're thinking and feeling all the time, alright? We're feeling while we're thinking all the time. You're not, even if you're a Heyoka empath. There you go. Got carried away. Now, to get to this point where you've broken an INFJ's trust like this, it does not take much. Usually, you got 2 chances. If they're feeling generous, they'll give you 4. By the 5th time, things will never go back to the way they were. All right, it's like you've cheated on us 5 times. Our relationship will never go back to the way it was, ever. Ever. I don't care if things are good for the next 20 years. It will never return to how things were. You've got to be careful about this. When an INFJ says any of the following things: go away, I need to be alone, please don't talk to me right now, let it go, I don't want to fight. Or if they tell you, just trust me. Just trust that I know what I'm doing. And you question them, ridicule them, or start a fight. That is the biggest thing right there. Don't be contentious. Well, why can't you just trust me? You're dead. You're already being door slammed. That's your fault. You should have held your tongue. You just lost an INFJ in your life. Well, why should I trust you? Whew. You just started cutting the cord. You cut the cord. The INFJ asked you and you cut the cord. Wow. Well, why in the world do you need to be alone? I've been alone all day long and now I'm here and all I want is your company. Okay. You're kind of stretching the cord, but I feel for you. I know what it's like to crave someone's company. So you know what? I'll make a sacrifice. I'll give it to you. That cord is still really thin. We understand. If you at any point do something to stress us out further, because we're already close to our end, we cannot physically help you. We cannot be around you. We don't have the energy, but we're doing it for you anyway because we care about you. This was your call. If you, while we are exhausted, forcing ourselves and literally sacrificing our mental and emotional health for you, do anything at this point to make us feel bad, remorseful, or if you start a fight, you are on strike 2 out of 3. You don't get a third chance. The next time this happens, the next time anything goes wrong, you've done it. You're now being door slammed. It is in the process of happening. Breaking an INFJ's trust is not difficult, but it is very easy to prevent. The ENFP at work that I work with, my gosh, she's just amazing. She's just out there. I'm not attracted to her. But dang it, man, if she was a redhead and younger, yes, I would be attracted to her. Wow, she gets me. All right, I never once had to tell her anything. First day I met her, You don't talk much, do you? I said, I'm an introvert. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need my alone time. Got it. She just nodded her head, smiled at me, and walked the other way. I'm thinking, what the heck just happened? No one's ever done that for me before in my life. No one has ever, actually, I take that back. Gabriel has. I've talked about him in my other videos, and Travis. So technically 2 people. But I'm thinking to myself, that never happens like day to day, ever. I don't understand this. So later, I had my earplugs back. She said, hey there, and I covered my ears because it was still really loud. She said, oh, sorry. And just went like this and walked the other way. I'm like, whoa, like she gets me. She actually gets me. So I started talking to her and opened up to her for a bit. And I was really angry. And she said, are you okay? And I said, no, I just want to be left alone. She says, okay, I understand. I'll let you go. And walked the other way. I'm thinking, this woman's not contentious. She's not contentious. She's not arguing with me. She's not bickering. She's not complaining that I'm not spending more time with her. What the heck is with this woman? And where has she been all my life? I could have used a friend like her. Today, I went out of my way and I spent $5 just buying her candy because she was having a rough day and she loved candy. And she smiled and she ran up to me and gave me 2 hugs today. That is what an INFJ craves. And you know what? The next time she does upset me in this way and breaks my trust, I'm going to say, you know what? I know how she normally is. She's having a bad day, and I'm going to pray for her. I'm going to love her, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to buy her flowers or chocolate or anything to make her feel better, and she's going to be happy, and she'll thank me, and all of this will be in the past. I'll be able to help her now. I'll be able to be kind to her. Listen, once an INFJ is your friend, we are fiercely loyal because we feel for you. You have gained our trust, and it is hard to break our trust once you've gained it. However, repeated actions and attempts over and over and over to try us will result in you destroying the relationship. When an INFJ needs his space, don't be afraid to tell him, oh, stupid battery. Hang on. When an INFJ needs their space, don't be afraid to tell them that you want to understand more about what was stressing them out later. Don't put it on the present tense. Don't speak to an INFJ who's stressed out in the present tense. And this is the third way to know you've upset an INFJ. When you speak to an INFJ in the present tense and they shut down, their body language is closed, they stop reacting, they walk the other way, they walk away from you, they respond in one-word answers. Okay, all right. Their speech patterns are irregular. They're not talking about what they're thinking in depth. It's just very shallow. You know you've done something to agitate them, and all introverts can share this passive-aggressive quality. But for an INFJ, it is a direct attack on you. We would never tell you this because it's petty. We know it's petty. We don't mean to do it. We don't want to do it. But at the same time, you really instigate us. And what are we supposed to do? Tell people all of these thoughts in our relation? I really don't like it how you talk to me whenever I'm upset. How am I to know whenever you're upset? You never talk to me. What are we supposed to do? Tell people that we're high maintenance? We're not high maintenance, but people don't understand us. So we suck it up, and we suck it so far up that we can't even feel anymore. And we become emotionally numb, and then we go into these depressive cycles, and we don't even know who we are anymore. And it's all because this whole freaking world is so screwed up and doesn't even know how to associate with us. They think we're autistic and bipolar and you have multiple personalities. No, you're all just a bunch of freaking clueless idiots. Pardon me, that popped out. I'm not thinking straight. I'm just venting. That was completely off key. I'm so sorry for everyone watching. People don't try to understand us. They just get angry and upset and agitated with us because we upset them for whatever reason. That's the third way you know you've upset an INFJ. When they start choosing to respond to you when they would rather not. For an INFJ to not respond to someone is healthy. That means your relationship is good. When you send them a message and just 1 or 2 messages and they don't respond for 3 days and you give us our space, that is healthy. You are doing good to the relationship, and we will come back and love you twice as strong as we did the last time we saw you. because we're feeling so grateful that you understood our needs. It's whenever you don't do that and you send one message 2 hours later, hello? 1 hour later, hello? X question mark. 15 minutes later, are you there? 3 minutes later, you went offline. At that point, we want you gone. I wish I could erase your face from the existence of my mind, and reality would exist without you on the face of the human earth. That is harsh. That is how I am feeling. INFJs are feelers. We are not insane. We are not psychotic. We are feelers. And I guarantee you, if you put a knife in your wife's hand and you started singing to her, hey honey, have you gained some weight in your rear end? The dress you wear reminds me of my old girlfriend. And where'd you get those shoes? I think they're pretty lame. Would you stop talking, cause I'm trying to watch the game? If you're a man who doesn't want to get killed with a knife, these are the things you don't say to your wife. Alright, you don't put a knife in someone's hand and then take them off and expect them not to get angry. Like, INFJs get angry because something caused us to become angry. We're not psychotic, we are emotional. And I guarantee you, if you find anybody, any woman on earth who is going through an incredibly difficult time in life and they're on their period and you put a knife in their hand, they're going to scream and either stab it into the counter, put it down, then break down into tears, or they're going to scream at you, and then they're going to break down into tears. You wouldn't call them psychotic. You'd call them emotional. Don't treat us INFJs different than you would treat anyone else on the face of the human earth. If that was your mother, if that was your brother, if that was your 10-year-old little brother or little sister, you would not call them psychotic. How dare you treat us differently? How dare you treat us like we're the scum of the earth? How dare you treat us like there's something wrong with us, like we're mentally ill? How dare you speak to another human being that way? The fourth way to know you've ticked off an INFJ: when they tell you to your face that they are upset with you. Wow. It takes a lot to get an INFJ to approach conflict. When we finally approach conflict, you better believe there is a storm that has been brewing. If an INFJ approaches you, do not run away, or you will make an enemy out of them for life. I don't care if you resolve the issue, your door slammed. And you will, even if you're not door slammed, you'll never get the relationship back. The way things used to be, it's dead. You killed it. Don't run. When an INFJ comes to you, bringing a conflict to you, you better be scared, because one of three things will happen. Either A, it'll be resolved. Good. Thank you for resolving it and understanding my need for peace. Ding, 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 ding. You got a point. Congratulations. You run away and don't resolve the conflict, and the INFJ is so furious with you, they are willing to destroy your life because you destroyed them. And yes, you destroyed them emotionally. So don't be surprised when they comment publicly about you, psychologically ripping you apart. And believe me, us INFJs can do this. I've had to do it twice. My brother posted on social media all about me. Brother-in-law, he married into the family. Brother-in-law posted all over social media on my comments after I blocked him from my phone. It was Thanksgiving dinner. I said, I can't believe that I'm alone again on Thanksgiving. He said, you could have come over here. And I said, I don't want to go over there. First off, I don't know you. And second of all, I'm exhausted. He said, Eric, you need to grow the F up and stop complaining about every little issue that comes your way. If you were a little bit more grateful, yeah, you INFJs just went, oh no. You know where I'm going with this. If you were just a little bit more grateful, you wouldn't be so unhappy. This is your own fault, Eric. Get out of your own pile of mud and do something with your life. Wow. I did what any INFJ would do in this circumstance. At least anyone with backbone that's willing to be like, you know what, screw you. I told him, and I'm going to use a different name. I'm going to call him Mike. I said, Mike, you are not my brother. As a matter of fact, you never had any right to be. You have no influence in my life, and you never have, and you never will. As a matter of fact, I don't like you. I don't want to see you. And above everything, you married into this family. What makes you think you have any right being in my life? As a matter of fact, this isn't your family, it's my family. And you have no right associating with us. You're lucky my sister brought you into this family. You're not related to me by blood, and you'll never be related to me by name. And that was it. And he has not spoken to me since. He also was incredibly hurt. Did I want to do that? Yes and no. Do I regret it? Yes and no. More no than yes. But my point is simply this. If you do not address the storms well with an INFJ, you have made an enemy out of someone who can read into your soul and psyche, and they can traumatize you. We don't want to, but we lose our self-control when we are pushed this far. Please, we don't want to hurt people. We love people. We feel for people. We want to help people. We want to change the world. We are for people. We are people. Don't push us to this point because it hurts us too, because we know we hurt somebody else and we feel bad for hurting someone else, okay? So those are the 4 signs to how you know you've ticked off an